Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good
Good
evening.
evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
So, sir, this is our team. We are from Birla Institute of Management Technology. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
joining us today. We will not be taking
sorry
a
for that.
very great
My
amount.
apologies for that. Yeah, my apologies for that canceling the last slot.
No worries, sir.
And
No
sorry
worries.
for
No worries
this
at all. No
casual
problem, sir.
setting. I generally do not take any work at home, so but nevertheless, since it's urgent for you guys, so I thought might as well accommodate at this late hour.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Carry on,
So, sir,
guys.
yes,
Sure,
sir.
sure, Jom. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So basically, we are a group from Birla Institute of Management Technology. And as per our one of the subject, E-Lab, we have been allotted a project in which we have to identify an entrepreneur and discuss some questions with that particular entrepreneur. We are very much thankful that you spend some time with us. We will be asking you some questions, and we would love to hear your views among those questions. And in this way, basically, our what group will does, we will take note of your answers and we will do our analysis of those questions, those answers on our own self. And as I
Sure.
told you before, we will be posting this interview on the YouTube. First of all, I would like to ask, do we have your permission to post this on YouTube?
Yes, please go ahead in a limited frame.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So, sir, without any further ado, I will start asking the question. So, the first question I would like to ask, can you give a small intro about what is your company is?
Okay, so I co-founded this company called Evolve Brands, and I'm the officiating CEO of this enterprise. So we started in 2003, October, and literally spent now 2 decades into this business. So what we as a company do, we are a loyalty tech company. So loyalty tech, when you talk about loyalty, the primary aspect of loyalty is essentially how to retain your customers, and then we devise strategies, we devise tech applications, we decide and deliver the promotional part of the loyalty and
Okay, sir.
implement to ensure that the brands retain their customer more often than not.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. The next question of ours will be basically what inspired your journey into entrepreneurship and how does your background contribute to your this venture?
So I don't think background has got to do anything with what you do in life. So for example, I was a chemistry graduate, wanted to join armed forces, ended up being a computer programmer, eventually picked up a sales assignment in a computer company. So I guess backgrounds do not really matter what you want to do. So remember the times, I guess you guys were pretty 92, I guess, when I started my career, the market was very, very immature. There were no decent openings besides the conventional government jobs, which everyone used to aspire to have, and limited opportunities in private sector. And this the new regime of startups was just taking shape in US, and countries like us were purely watching it from a distance. So the startup culture was absolutely missing. So you had to get into that conventional. So that's where the time I started my career. So I started by selling computers, moved on to computer training, and I worked in media for a very short while. And before joining a company which had everything to do with computers again. So it was a US
Okay, sir.
corporation which was trying to put its feet in Indian market. So I was a sales and marketing guy throughout. So I worked for 10 years before I started this venture.
Okay,
So
sir. Thank you
92
very
to
much, sir.
2003.
Okay,
So
sir.
sorry.
So the next question of ours will be, what motivated you to start this particular venture, and what traits define your entrepreneurial mindset?
So Divyam, nothing in particular what motivated me. I guess we were living in those times when we had to work a little more harder than what you guys do today. And considering there were no telecom backbones, there were no requisite tools for sales and marketing. So sales used to typically happen on those door knocks. Media was expensive. The media opportunities were very limited where you could advertise. Besides this conventional newspaper media, the outdoors, those were the times which these medias were flourishing. So digital advertising was just started to happening that time, no? So I was a part of a company called Bawzi.com. I remember that was the first, amongst the first dot coms who came in India and were successful. So I worked with them for around 18 months, and before they got acquired by eBay. So that was a time when digital footprints were starting happening. Customers were still confused. How will they buy stuff online? Today, Amazon and Flipkarts and Mintras of the world are, roaming the streets.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Okay,
those were
sir.
not the times when this logistics was there. Those were not the times conviction was there. 30, 40-year-old people would never thought they would buy vegetables like they
Correct, sir.
buy today. The touch and feel concept was very much relying. And India was a very unique market. In America, if you see, the retail revolution came in 1960s, 1970s.
Yes,
Dot-com
sir.
boom
Correct.
came in 1990. So every industry got a window of 30 years to flourish. Okay, in India, the conventional digital revolution, the retail revolution happened together.
Yes, sir.
So
Correct.
people were getting confused. They should go and buy a Reliance phone online or they should buy a Reliance phone offline. So, so the two mediums of reaching out to customers were competing against each other. While
Yes,
in
sir.
US, in the Western markets, retail clearly gave way for digital revolution. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Okay, sir.
digital was replacing retail. Here, retail and digital were co-surviving and were
Correct, sir.
beating each other. And the
Yes, sir.
concept of omni-channel was still not there at that time. you know so if you were buying a stuff online for, let's say, 1,000 rupees, you were buying the same stuff in a retail store for 800 rupees, and no one could understand why this price difference existed. So markets were different, the customer needs were different, customer demand was very limited. But then today, there was a time I used to think, when I used to sell across various industries I worked with, that how is that a brand can ensure that a same customer buys me for a lifetime value. The concept of lifetime value, which you are studying today, possibly in the books, did not exist at that
Yes,
time.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the lifetime value of a customer has come in now when the demand has popped up, has gone over the roof. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
how is that? So loyalty is all about creating lifetime value from a single customer. So if you are
Okay.
using, let's say, Lux soap today
Yes,
or
sir.
a Dove soap, how is that I can ensure that Divim uses this soap for the rest of his life? So that's what loyalty is. If you buy, you possibly between 20 and 50 years where a person buys at least 6, 7 times a PC or a laptop,
Yes, sir.
how is that I can ensure that every time it's a Lenovo or a HP? Can I ensure that? Okay. So
Okay,
if
sir.
you're buying from, let's say, go to a retail shop, how's that your retailer always pushes you to buy a Britannia bread as against a modern or a harvest or a something else?
Yes, sir.
How's that? So that's what loyalty is all about. So you create loyalty at multiple levels. You create loyalty at the customer end, which is the B2C part of it. You create loyalty on the retailer or the dealer level, where you ensure that he only stocks Britannia or pushes Britannia more than the modern. Okay,
Okay,
and the
sir.
loyalty at the distributor level where the retailer is buying from, loyalty from the employee that I mean, it's very difficult to accept today that an employee would work for a lifetime. If you remember our parents, they would work for a single company for whole of a life. They would join LIC and retire from LIC. They will join Government of India and retire from Government of India. So that
Yes,
was
sir.
loyalty in the traditional sense. They did not shift employers.
Correct, sir.
Okay, but
Yes,
a
sir.
generation before us never even thought of shifting jobs 10 times before they established their career. Today,
Okay,
there are
sir.
young people like who are jumping jobs every year, not for
Yes,
a
sir.
raise, maybe looking for a satisfaction. So when you enter the job market, the opportunities are unlimited.
Correct, sir.
Okay, so that's what I was coming back to what I was talking. So loyalty is established at various levels. So I could always think that there were companies who were purely to advertising to acquire customers. So typical conventional way of using advertising was get more customers in your fold. But no one was thinking where are the customers going back. So if I'm let's say selling 1,000 soap cakes every day, I will
Yes, sir.
continue to sell 1,000 cakes, or demand will pop up and 1,000 will become 1,100, 1,200. Where your
Yes, sir.
addressable market is, let's say, million. So the million minus 1,000 people are buying a competition brand. How is that you can eliminate competition? So that's what essence of loyalty marketing is. How is that you can retain your customers and grow your business?
Okay, sir. Understood, sir. Thank
So
you
this
very
is what
much.
I but yeah.
Okay, sir. Jaidev will be taking the next two questions. Can you go ahead, Jaidev, please?
Yes, Divyam. So I have a question for you, sir.
So
How do you identify market needs and what specific problem does your venture solve?
as I was telling you, market needs every brand. How many brands would there be in India today? Take a guess.
Many,
Yeah.
like.
It's in millions.
Millions, correct, sir.
How many bread brands can you name today? Name a few.
Mm, Zomato and like.
Breads.
Mm-hmm.
White bread brands.
Like
So you have
Zara, sir.
Britannia, you
White
have
bread,
Modern.
Amul hai, we
Yeah,
have
yes,
Saras,
right.
we have Amul, and we have Calorie, we have multiple brands.
Okay. If I tell you the
Mm-hmm.
number of bread brands which are sold in India, you'll be amazed. There are
How many
50,000
brands, sir?
bread brands. There are
Okay,
50,000 bread brands in
50,000.
India. Yeah.
Oh,
So every 100 kilometers is a bread brand.
hmm,
Okay. How
surprising.
many toothpaste brands can you name?
Kane, Colgate, Patanjali, and
10?
yeah.
10 brands?
Mm-hmm.
How,
Yes.
yes, how many toothpaste brands would be in India?
Again in thousands.
Yes, more than that. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
know. We are circumspected by what we read and watch.
Mm-hmm.
But there are
Mm-hmm.
brands who are not advertising. There are brands who are not reaching out to you. There are brands who do not have a website.
Mm-hmm.
They have no WhatsApp, chatbots, nothing, but they're existing and selling and growing every day.
Mm-hmm.
So market
We
addressable market
mm-hmm.
is huge. Every 10 crore brand would like to become 50 crore. Every 50 crore brand would like to become 100 crore. Every 100 crore brand would like to become 500 crores and so on. So we're not talking
Mm-hmm.
about necessarily people like Livers. We're not talking about people like Marico. Everyone wants to sell and everyone wants to sell
Mm-hmm.
more. And the cost of acquisition of a customer is huge. You must be reading in your textbooks. The cost of retention is much lower than the cost of acquisition. So that's what we
Mm-hmm.
teach as a company, we propagate as a company, and we practice it and implement it. Am I
Mm-hmm.
clear?
Yes, sir, definitely. So the next question for you is, who is your target audience and how does your business model generate revenue?
Every brand who's selling to the customer in whatever domain, they can be a cement company, they are a tile company, they can be automobile manufacturer, they can be Marutis of the world, they can be automobile spare manufacturers. You can name a brand, can be a potential customer. We already work with around 50 of them. And as far
Mm-hmm.
as revenue model is concerned, so we charge a fees for whatever good job we do for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Divyam, you can carry on.
Definitely. So, sir, the next question that I will be asking you is, so basically, what has been the impact of your venture on the society in general?
We are helping brands conserve their spends by retaining their customers is what is the impact. So every dollar you otherwise you would have spent on advertising, you're possibly taking a pie of it and helping them retain their customers on a much low cost methods. So that's the impact. So we are making every dollar more countable. And we
Okay, sir.
work with Indian brands, we work with multinational brands, and I guess over the period of 2 decades, we have grown and retained our business. That's the important aspect of the fact that business is relevant to the brand, business is relevant to the society, business is relevant to the community. So the customer responsiveness is just come up in the market. So I guess market is still immature to understand that a customer responsive can be understood by Levers, Colgate, Palmolive, Marico's of the world. But look at the smaller toothpaste brands, bread brands. Do they understand customer responsiveness? So loyalty is another aspect of customer responsiveness you're creating in the market.
Correct, sir.
So that's the
Uh,
impact, Divyam, what you asked me over the society.
okay, sir. The next question, and that too an important one. What were the significant obstacles that were faced by you when you started your journey?
I mean, the obstacles were the same as we would encounter today. If any of you today attempts a startup, what are the possible obstacles which can come your way? You would need a great mindset. You would need a co-founder, you would need a startup funding, you would need a good HR person to do a headhunt for
Yes, sir.
you would need a good tech team, you would need a good sales and marketing team, you would need a good admin guy who possibly keeps your office upkeep in right shape and form. So those were the same challenges. So team is one important aspect. And before that, the co-founder which you have. So never my preaching generally to people like you at this age group is never attempt a startup alone. You need to find like-minded people around you. My son is 24. He keeps talking to you about doing a startup, despite the fact that he's very firmly established. I keep telling
Yes, sir.
him, where is a co-founder? That's the first thing you should find for yourself. That means someone who shares the same passion, same ideas, same philosophy, same ethics, same code of conduct. That's more
Yes, sir.
important. So finding a co-founder, finding a team, finding an investor is all you have to, other traditional obstacles,
Okay,
which
sir.
I
So
think is
actually, my
it hasn't
next
changed.
answer was already answered. It was about what would be the strategy to manage your team. It's important to have people like-minded people with you within your team. So basically, that can help you.
Yes, it's absolute necessary, and I guess it's a prerequisite for any successful business today.
Okay, sir. The next question that I would like to ask you is, what was your approach to secure a funding or an investment while you started your journey?
Divyam, you're touching on a sensitive topic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so securing a funding is uh, was a lot different than what it is today. I mean, someone willing to invest in a business is was used to be a great boon. As against, I know a couple of friends who have done startups. They evaluate options. So I keep jokingly tell them that I wish those 5 options which you have today to take funding from A, B, or C, or D, or get it family office funded, or take your dad's money and start the business. Those options were not there with
Yes, sir.
us. So we jumped on to the first available opportunity, and thankfully all went well with us.
Okay, sir. Jaydev, can you please ask the next two questions?
Yes, Divyam. What are your long-term vision and growth plans for the venture?
Sorry, come again. Growth plans and
Uh, Growth plans and long-term vision for your business, for your startup.
so Jaydev, what is long term in today's life? A lot of
When
people
you
we were competing with in the pre-COVID
Mhm,
pre-COVID times,
mhm,
2019. Today, those
mhm,
companies are not there. So, what is
mhm,
long term and what is short term today? We have survived for 2 decades now, exactly. So, I
mhm,
guess that's a long term enough. I guess will survive if the business has already proved its relevance in the marketplace. I'm sure that's long term for us. I think we have lived our long term, if I might tell you. So you may ask me what is the short term of goals. Possibly, I'll have to think.
mhm. So, sir, can you share what are your short-term goals as of now?
I don't know. Business retention. I guess we are moving towards a more digital economy. Customers are more intelligent, so we need to. We are getting into products which will be more relevant to the bottom rung of the market. So just to come back to what I mentioned earlier, those 1,000 brands in a particular category, everybody is not my customer. So I may be working in 10 different categories, but maybe only 2 or 3 players are with me.
Mhm,
So market is so addressable that I can get 1,000 customers from every category. So that will be like a few lakh customers. So that's the addressable market. Something is very interesting coming up is that a lot of companies who are have understood the need of loyalty.
mhm,
There are various ways. I'm sure there will be better brains than me who would possibly come up in times to come. The artificial intelligence, the convergence of medias will possibly play a major role today. So when we have to look at loyalty from various angles. You do not have to look at it through a clean glass. It's the
mhm.
light in the loyalty enters through a prism, and a prism throws 7 colors. So which
Yes, sir.
color do you want to see is what is
Mhm,
important. I mean, you
mhm,
switch on your smart TV, there are 10 TV apps which you can see. But why? If you
mhm,
ask me, I only watch Netflix. I do not go to Prime. Why?
mhm.
Prime has equally good content. If I look at
Yes, sir.
action movies, Prime has enough
Mhm,
action movies. Why
mhm,
does my my hand on my remote only presses Netflix. And I have 10 other applications, a Z5 or a Sonele or a why. So I decide my mood is to look for Netflix. No, there is something inherent which is happening behind the scene. That someone somewhere has convinced me that Netflix is your go-to choice. You have only 45 minutes to watch. You can possibly see a Netflix series for a 45-minute show and then switch off the TV and sleep.
Exactly. So it's like Netflix has become a part of you.
So, okay, for you it may be Prime. For someone else, for Divyam, it may be a Z5. It's not that those people do not have content.
Yes, sir.
So I have to decide which language I want to see first. Then I decide how much time do I have, and then I decide which channel to forget the channel, the OTT. So which app to go to. Then I have
Yes,
3
sir.
TVs in my home. Why do I want to sit in my only one TV, one room? So these are various factors which go in. My family room would only have a Hindi OTT. My living room would possibly have my favorite channel. So brands are doing a lot of things. You'll see in every space, you go and buy candles. I mean, the other day someone was telling me, I mean, he buys a particular brand of perfumed candles. Who buys candles today? They're customers. And look at, there are a lot of smaller brands who are importing stuff from China or other markets and bringing them and branding them. Those brands also need customers.
Exactly.
Even Mithai is a brand today. Haldiram is a brand. Okay, 30 years back, this was not the case. So unrecognized categories are converting into brands. When 30 years back, where did you ever thought of buying a branded fan? So everyone bought Orient Usha. Today, there are 50 choices.
Exactly.
So market is, I'm sure younger generation will possibly play a larger role in understanding this market psyche and create better and better loyalty programs.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So markets define loyalty in a different way. You can call it affinity, you can call it retention marketing. It has been there all the time. When your neighborhood grocer Gupta ji would also call you by name and used to feel good 20 years back. I mean, if you consult your parents, they are known by their names with a neighborhood shop. Okay, so that is one aspect of loyalty. It's all about customer experience. And that is constantly transforming on a daily basis. It's happening every minute.
Yes, sir.
So that's it.
So, sir, according to you, how do you define success as an entrepreneur?
Success is relative, boss. I may be successful today, I'm feeling good. Tomorrow morning, there's something which happens in my company. Maybe I go through a cyber attack. I'll be unhappy. So success is happening every moment. I mean, you have to make your business profitable. Number one, you have to create a very inherent team, which defines the core objective of the company. That's what success is. Money may not be success today, but growth may be. It's related. It's different for every person. So if you ask me, I guess overall feel good factor of running a company for 2 decades. So I think I'm already successful. So tomorrow morning I'll see what makes me happy.
So thank you very much
Okay.
for this. Since I already told you that we will not be taking a lot of the time of yours, I will be asking one last question. Any surprising insights that you would like to share? And the lastly, what key lessons have you learned that you would love to share with us that we must keep in our mind if we choose to follow the entrepreneurship journey?
First of all, be sure that, so I guess don't get into entrepreneurship till the time you have tested waters. Work for someone for a few years and then get into it. I mean, everyone feels that they have a great idea, but
Yes,
then,
sir.
and that idea will sell. So I guess investors have also become very mature. There are very few people like Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs who started their companies in 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are entrepreneurs in India who have started young.
Correct, sir.
But the fact is, you have to understand the various facets of business. I keep advising my son also that you know to work for enough companies so when you're tired, then become an entrepreneur at the right age. It's
Correct.
always easy to get easy money from investor and blow it. God willing, you will get it. But then you will understand that value of the dollar, every dollar which you have secured as funding, it should be rightly spent only when you have earned those 50,000, 60,000, 1 lakh rupees monthly salaries. Manage that money first before managing a larger set of $1 billion or $500 million.
Yes, sir.
How many times,
Well,
ask
sir,
yourself, how many times your dad has given you money to manage and you've done a great job? You would have always goofed up somewhere.
correct, sir.
That's what happens with investor money.
Well, sir, thank you very much for sharing such a great insights to us. We will definitely be taking a note on all these questions. We will reviewing this video and we will analyzing it. And thank you very much for sharing your time with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a
Thank you. Thank you
good
very
night
much.
and all the best to you guys.
Have a good night,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye.